So just I need to okay, so
Yeah.
you've uploaded
Um,
my.
First of all, I would like to thank you for presenting now. And just to briefly introduce you, Thomas is a doctoral student in the Faculty of Education at Simon Fraser University. Her focus is on students' engagement, participation, preferences, and their active roles in learning physics and how these are related to their achievement in their lives and schools. And it is a pleasure to have you here. And now the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Roberta. Hello. Oh, sorry. It seems that I just
Don't worry. Okay, perfect.
okay. I don't know how it happened. Okay, is that good? So
Yeah, great.
yes. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to my session. Changes via two pandemics. One change is being imposed by a virus, and another change should be achieved by self. I'm going to take you to my past experiences, the regressive moment of Kurori according to William Piner's method of Kurori. I return and take you to one of my mathematics classes at the Simon Fraser University Surrey campus in the last safe and away from pandemic school year. Imagine a real classroom, rows of tables, chairs, whiteboards, a brand new computer, a projector, educational technological tools, a strong internet access, required software and platforms for teaching and learning, and the instructor's table. An educational environment and place like this for instructor creates a unique and thrilling experience of working and living with the students. Also for students, lots of opportunities and significant factors associated with the students' learning and achievement, specifically uh, for adolescents. So here you see an image from the SFU classroom or universities or schools classroom. However, we had to come out of the SFU classrooms for our safety, our place of education, classroom, and learning environment are being reshaped by the crisis of COVID-19. According to OECD, schooling disrupted. Students' learning place and space is no longer like the illustrated classrooms at the SFU. Students' learning has become more personalized and digitalized. Traditional schooling systems have broken down, and schooling rethought. And teachers' teaching requires a cautious curricular review and update. At issue is whether virtual teaching and the learning environment, the space and place like Zoom and team classes are sufficient not only for students learning but also for teachers teaching with the outdated curricula and pedagogical approaches. The purpose of this study is to illustrate and focus on the recent changes in education and our ways of learning and how to improve and adapt ourselves to make better progress towards a more sustainable future. I highlight that we should not only reconstruct and update our pedagogical teaching approaches, but also redesign and update the curricula which fulfill the 21st century students' needs and career path. According to the World Economic Forum, here there is a question. How has COVID-19 impacted education and the students' learning environments and places? According to the World Economic Forum, there is a reciprocal relationship between the fourth industrial revolution and education. One of the key issues in education is 21st century curricula, which is directly related to the fourth industrial revolution. I'm not sure that if you see my cursor on the screen, I'm pointing to the fourth industrial revolution. One of the key issues, the 21st century curriculum. And so as you see, is directly related to the fourth industrial revolution. And as you see here, there are so many factors and issues related to the fourth industrial revolution and education, which are not the focus of this presentation. Let's have a short orientation. Digital devices, technological instruments, and sensors are now everywhere. They are closer to us than we think. Cell phones in our hands, digital and wireless devices, and wireless headphones in our ears, and digital watches on our wrists. By 2025, the first implantable mobile phone commercially will be available to us. There are more such as digital tattoos, smart dust, smart pills, and medical objects in our bodies. We form a unity with digital devices and technological instruments. They become part of our bodies and everyday lives. This
Okay.
is fourth industrial.
Hey,
Pardon me? This is fourth industrial revolution. This is something that changes the definitions of so many things. The definition of connection, definition of present, absent, definition of place, environment, space, and eventually definition of reality. I'm just checking, Roberta, are you hearing me well? So just I'm checking that.
I hear you perfectly.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much for confirming. According to OECD, school closures across the OECD countries for an average of 14 weeks locked 1.5 billion students and their parents out of their schools. As the schools closed across the world, the educational institutions and ministries of education rapidly developed and deployed various projects and approaches. According to OECD, remote and online learning became the best solution in education. The educational institutions acknowledged that technology could and can amplify and scale innovative teaching and faster ways of learning. And now, teachers and students cannot be stopped from having creativity, new ideas, and unprecedented solutions in learning and during the pandemic. It demonstrates that a virus in the size of 50 to 200 nanometers in diameter could successfully work not only as a reset button in the world, but also as a thrust towards innovation, digitalization, automation, mechanization, computerization, and telecommunication in the world. Consequently, it could challenge our traditional conceptualization of teaching and learning. The results of OECD demonstrate that about 99% of students have internet access at home, and 95% of students have a computer for their schoolwork at home across the OECD countries and economies. Most of the students have a great experience with online learning in their new learning environment, which is home, though some will be disadvantaged in this process. Moreover, in some countries, based on the principles reports, schools were able to provide each student with a computer to study, such as Luxembourg, Canada, United Kingdom, United States, New Zealand, Iceland, Australia, Austria, Singapore, and Norway. Reopening of K to 12 schools occurred when students and teachers' e-learning readiness were confirmed. School close to 85% of teachers were targeted for training and professional development on effective e-learning and assessment. Alternative ways were developed for students without internet access and network connection to approximately 68.5% across the 36 OECD countries, such as radio and TV, and 79% invested in updating or creating effective e-learning platforms and content for students and teachers. Instructional resources and class activities have subsequently changed. Computer simulations, applications, and videos have replaced in-person, hands-on activities of real classrooms. Now students have access to infinite information and training options. The nature of teaching and the role of teachers is changing. Students as active participants and teachers as collaborators and facilitators should learn together. How can we handle these changes and adapt ourselves? COVID-19, with all its challenges, tensions, and impacts, as a pandemic could provide us with an opportunity to stop, to pause, to meditate, to review, to reset, to become able to start again for redesigning, reconstructing, rebuilding a better future. This stop invites us to find and open a space for listening, perceiving, exploring, and finally turning to the new ideas that will support us in the next moments of the future. I refer to Applebaum's concept of the stop. For enhancing our quality of work and quality of education, AIs, artificial intelligence, and robots will be doing and taking care of pace, precision, and accuracy soon. It is the right time to transmit some of our responsibilities to AIs and robots. They are our new collaborators. It is the time of the fourth industrial revolution. It is the time to utilize and benefit from all the discoveries, explorations, innovations, and creativities in the 21st century. However, this does not mean that we should pause and stop forever. This is a temporary stop to transfer the work and place the space of our work, like coming out of the Surrey campus, SFU classrooms, and entering into Zoom classes. The place between SFU Surrey campus and Zoom, in which innovation, creativity, architectural masterpiece, digital devices, technologies, potentials, reality and virtuality all are coming together and blending for the aim of creating high quality education. Indeed, we will be having new responsibilities and work which is not doable by AIs and robots. Excuse me, just have a sip of water. And then robots are able to understand, respond to their environment, and remotely access information via the cloud and network connection. Humanoid robots are the tangible example of a technology that may substitute for faculties like instruction, meetings, and tutorials. However, AIs and robots do not have the creativity, innovation, and ability to think critically or come up with new ideas independently. They are the best at speed and accuracy. They are the best to receive data and process it, but are not able to analyze, which is the expertise of human beings. Therefore, this is why being capable of thinking critically, solving problems, having innovation, coming up with new ideas, and being creative are the required and even vital skills for us to succeed in the future of the 21st century. Why do I
So much.
talk about, sorry,
Few
yes,
minutes left.
pardon me?
Almost. Sorry, just 5 minutes left.
Okay, I'm gonna run. Why do I talk about two pandemics? Before the COVID-19 crisis, the world had already been dealing with another pandemic, a pandemic in our current civilization existential lack, according to scholars. The source and reason can be examined in the struggling experience of frustration, impatience, anger, helplessness, hopelessness, dejection, and giving up. These are all experiences that might also occur in the process of change. So, scholars propose that we need to start from ourselves. A more digitally connected world has created higher expectations, which can cause significant consequences and risks when prosperity and access either is not attainable or occurs with lower chance. To know about the solutions from the scholars, please read my full paper as I'm not going through the solutions. So I'm going to jump on the virtual reality. Our living in reality in many contexts and from various aspects has been currently transformed and somehow has been pertinent to virtuality, such as our presence in a Zoom class. Here I raise some questions related to reality and virtuality. Our place, space, environment of teaching and learning does not hold any determined and specific location. It is everywhere. Boundaries are broken. Technology is leveraging opportunities and personalizing learning. Education takes place everywhere, anytime. AIs are advancing fast and robots are joining us to support and develop a sustainable future. Digital devices and technology are becoming part of our bodies. In brief, the fourth industrial revolution shapes our future and expands our horizons of possibilities and opportunities. In fact, it is not an easy shift. It is benevolent of a pandemic over pandemic. One needs to be changed by ourselves, and another is changing the world. Here we need to change our lens and become pragmatic optimists. Our learning places, spaces, environments are being changed. Home environments serve as a safe learning environment for students and working environments for teachers and parents. I have highlighted how to learn and understand what is happening and what are adequate ways of sustaining and enhancing the quality of learning and teaching. Collaboration and cooperation are central canons for the education we value for today and tomorrow. This is the new reality, a new normal. This is not the virtuality anymore. With all the shifts, I'm wondering whether we can keep our curriculum and pedagogy unchanged and outdated. Thank you very much for choosing my topic and session, and please feel free to contact me if there is any question. And I'm now open to your question. And here is the list of my references for this presentation. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
If there are questions, please just open the microphone or type in the chat, or again, if you want to email so much, you have many options.
Was that a question? I didn't hear clearly, Roberta.
Antonio, you are on a listen profile. Click on the phone to switch to speaker profile. Okay, great. Now you are the, okay, I see your profile changing. No, still listener profile. Maybe clicking on the phone icon on the bottom of the screen, there should be the option to choose the microphone. Or if it's not working, just type in the chat.
I think that before hearing from our colleague, I think that my paper somewhat can respond to Joseph's. I'm not sure that Joseph is here, is still here. I was listening to his concern, and I think my paper somewhat can respond to Joseph's concern and question with regard to the recent changes in education. And yeah, we're all trying to connect the kind of emerged dots and points in education.
Definitely, yes. Okay, I see someone is typing in the chat. Okay, perfect.
No worries, please feel free. You
Okay.
have my email address in my contact, so please feel free to contact me, and I'm totally open to your question, feedback, comments.
So much. If you would like to type your email as well in the chat, I know
Sure,
the, okay, perfect. Because I know it
sure,
was
I'm
in the
there.
slide, but better to repeat it.
Here we go. So
Perfect. Okay. Now I'm really sorry, but due for time reasons, I have to give the floor to another colleague, to Martin Lava. But thank you
thank you very
very
much.
much for your presentation.
Thank you very much, Roberta. And I take time to thank Andrea too for all the arrangements, all everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, now